something new, always honest, sometimes right. Ooh, you feel that energy rising. The truth is calling, but we'll need some analyzing. Open your mind, let's take a ride. Jaren's almost here, time to toss the lights to the side. Lights down low, crowd tuned in, truth unlocked, let the show begin. Red pill taker, no faker, no shill. Jaren's in the house, he always keeping it real. Always honest, sometimes right he claims. He's seen the lies, he broke the chains. Now he's here to level up the game. Crypto truth, let's talk growth. Mind unlocked, yo, he does both. He's been around, he's seen it all. 10 years of flat, now we back on that ball. No more fakes, no more scams, no apps to track. Jaren's here to save the day from these lying maniacs. Oh, open up your eyes. The world ain't what it seems, no disguise. Take a step, take a breath, it's time to rise. No regrets, no regrets. Was flat, but that was whack. It was fake, out the gate, globe's a fact. So I went back, now I gotta shake the hate. Bad research, bad humans, bad intentions, built with lies. You can tell the shape of the ground, just look up in the sky. He's a man who admits when he's wrong, when he makes a mistake. Them other little boys will never give up, since they said TFB was fake. We are waiting on the man, the myth, the legend, and host of the show. The show is about to start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go. The show is about to start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Friday night, the vibe just right. Always honest, sometimes right my plight. Weekend here, the hustle unwind. Kick back, chillax, leave the grind behind. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. Unplug from the chaos, remote control. Soul on pause, now I take the stroll. Breathing deep, city's heartbeat slow. Find my peace in the urban glow. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. Honey in my tea, rhythm in my veins. Weekend remedy for weekday strains. Lyrics lace the night, moon spotlight. Unplugged symphony till the daylight. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life. F you to the stress, F you to the grind. F you to the worry, ease your mind. F you to the noise, F you to the hype. F you to the drain, we're living life.
That's right. It's not Friday. If I would have thought about that before, I wouldn't have played this intro. Pretend it's Friday, though. If you want. You got a good one coming up for you. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be fun.
Unplugged from the chaos, remote control. Soul on pause, now I take the stroll. Breathing deep, city's heartbeat slow. Find my peace in the urban glow.
And welcome everybody to the Jeranism show. I guess that's what we'll call it. Since we don't have a name for it, it is just going to be a fun one for you. We've got the SpaceX launch that happened yesterday or last evening. And I went over there and I filmed it. And I'm just going to show you guys how we kind of do this together. We're going to walk through the determination of which model best fits the observations. Here's what you have to remember about this, because I hear people all the time say, oh, you're presupposing and blah, blah, blah. I'm not presupposing anything. So this launch is taking place. It is 185 miles from me. Let me actually get started there. We'll bring up the Google Earths. We got to love Google Earths. And we'll go from there. Hello to everybody in the chat. Hopefully you guys are well. DP Debunks in the house. He hereby dubbed this stream Bob. What? Doesn't make any sense. It's the first comment I read, and it doesn't make any sense. Great. What else is going on? Anybody else here? I don't want to look at the number of people watching the show. That's how you get discouraged. So I'm going to pretend it says 370, and we should really be higher than that. So can you remember to hit the like button? Maybe that's what you guys aren't doing. So I'm going to blame you. Couldn't be me. I've never done anything wrong that I've ever known. You will not see me on camera tonight. That is because I am going for the record for the least amount of clothes while streaming ever. And it's either this or naked. So it's one or the other, and I've got one piece of clothing on, so I win. I win. So you don't get to see that. Sorry, don't worry. The camera is actually unplugged. It will be no mistake. There will be no accidentals. Don't you worry. Isn't that right, Enrique? Are you happy that you get to take a look at all this, you know?
Cámara, jalando.
What does that mean? Anybody? Camera, jalando? I don't know. This is what happens when you hire somebody who speaks Spanish and you don't speak Spanish. It doesn't go well. What were you saying about the ice wall earlier? Something about the ice wall?
Tell me the truth, vato.
Yeah.
These vatos really believe Antarctica is a fucking pinche ice wall, or they just got stuck in Game of Thrones and never came back.
No, they think there's an ice wall. I thought that too. Can you be a little bit nicer to former flat earthers too?
We spent 10 years saying Earth flat.
Yes, I know.
Meanwhile, your bank account round like a zero.
I know that, and it's actually negative, so it's actually worse than you think. All right, so let's get on to this. We hopefully some people will show up after the Tune stream or some other stream or some way of getting some audience here. We don't know. And if not, you know what? I will stream to myself. I will actually go in the other room and can you do that? It's gonna be tough. I don't know if I'll be able to do that actually. Maybe I could put a movie on here and then I'll go in the other room and watch it. So there'll be one viewer. I can do that. So there'll always be one viewer. That's what I'm trying to get across. It'll never be zero. So, haha, flatties think they're gonna have eventually I'm gonna have zero watchers. Yeah, right. I'll always have one, and it will be the best one. So that's pretty good news. That's good news. All right, so we're going to Google Earth real quick. I just want to show you so you can see where I was and where we were shooting and what we're doing and all that fun stuff. So I am in the town. Well, I was over by Planada. Let me show you where that's at here. Let's let this thing balance. Come in here. You can see that okay? Yeah, good enough. We are going to Planada. Here we are. And we make this turn here. We go right up the street. We go right to this spot here. You can see my little marker there. That is where I do my videoing. We can get down there if you want to see. It's just a road. And actually, it's a little bit more in this area here. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're just, oh, wait. I'm going to move this to show you this. So if we move this up here and we do it as a path and we make sure we select show elevation profile. The reason for that is we need to see if there's anything in our way of this observation. So let's go here. What's that little red mark there? Did I do that? Weird. No, okay. Just making sure I didn't do that. All right, so we're going from here, and we are going to be looking way far away. 185 miles, which is rare. You probably haven't ever filmed something 185 miles away. I have. And we are looking for, I believe this is going to be it, Launch Complex 4. Let's get in here and see what we see. Can I get a name to it? There we go. Launch Complex 4. So we're going to here. And you'll see that that is a total of 185 miles. You can see up move this a little bit more for you. There we go. 185. Wait, hold on a second. I've got a little issue. This is not all the way to the right. More like that. All right, there we go. That's better. Okay, and you'll notice that down here, now I got to move so you can see that. This is the elevation profile down at the bottom. Okay, and basically it just tells you that you'll see where I'm shooting from at this 200 and whatever that says. I can't. 256. And you'll notice it just starts going downhill pretty much the whole way as you go through here. We get into the 190s, we get into here, and then here it starts going uphill. This is at 50 miles away from me. And then we get to this mountain, which is going to be 3484, it looks like high. If I can read that right, 3484, I think what I can see. So we're going to go ahead and write that down. 3484 is the feet of that mountain that is definitely in our way. Okay, so remember, if we are on a flat Earth, this is going to make a difference because how could we see the rocket when it launches if it must get above 3484, right? We're going to be looking at a mountain. So we are going to be looking up when this appears up here. So I'll show you how that works. And then we'll also place it on the sphere and then see if it makes a difference, right? Because it might be that the curvature of Earth makes it so that this doesn't make a difference. So we're going to look at that. So that's basically all we needed from here. We know we're 185 miles. We know that we've got the highest peak between us and the observation or the rocket is 3484. Okay. So now we're going to go to GeoGebra. Okay. So I've got a program that a layout that I've had for a while that I use to punch in my stuff, and we'll just go see how good this is. And you can see kind of how I have it set up. The blue is obviously the Earth. You can zoom out and see that we are a sphere. There you go. There's the sphere Earth. It is calculated correctly at a radius of 20,903,520. And but we put the top of it at 0 so that we can measure everything from there. Okay, so that's why the top of the sphere is at 0 as we zoom in here. Okay, so let's zoom all the way in. I'll show you all the different lines that we have and how we're going to utilize them. So first we've got a mountain that I'm on. Remember we saw that I was 200 and something feet high? Go over here, a little bit this way. So there's the 300 feet high observation. If you ever don't know how to use GeoGebra, it's great. You can go to this more and then click more again, I believe. And there it is. So you can get, oops, where's the measurement? I always can never find it when I'm looking for it. Where is it? Here it is. Distance and measurement. I just saw it. Where did we go? There. So we can just check the height of that real quick by clicking there, and you'll see that we're at 319. I don't remember what it was that we were at. Let's go back to Google Earth and see. And our takeoff spot was over here, and let's see what our elevation is. We don't need this anymore, later. And our elevation here at the origin, or where I'm doing the observation from, is looks like 269. Okay, so I'm going to readjust this down to 269 now that we can see the height. Oops, let's get in here. Select this and this. Okay, so these are my sites. I'm going to just move that out of the way. So we're going down to, we see 269. Is that what it was? 269? Okay, that's good enough. 271. Good. So this is the top of the mountain, and then you figure that I'm 6 foot tall. So we're going to add 6 foot to that. I'm actually taller than that, but we don't need inches involved. 272 or what do we say? 260. We'll just do 270. That makes it easy, and then we'll go up to 276. So we're just going to put that. Where's my observer thing? Where'd it go? Oh, there's. So we're going to move this down to 276-ish. Okay, so there's my observer. Now you'll notice that there's two lines coming out from there. Okay, so we have our line of sight if we are flat and our line of sight if we are a globe. They're going to be different. We're going to look at both of them. And then remember, this is the Earth curving here. Okay, so we just got to make sure neither of those two lines ever runs into the Earth and is being blocked by it, but that's not the case in this situation. We'll show you. We're just going to head over there. Sorry, I have to kind of go so we don't see it hit. We want to make sure none of these lines hit the Earth. And we can see that we're still fine. The purple's still above it. Purple's still above it. Okay, you see the Earth starting to drop. Oh, by the way, in here, this might get confusing to you, but it shouldn't. This green line is your baseline flat Earth. Okay, so this is not moving. It's not deviating from the 0 line. Again, this blue line up here is going to be, you can't see that. Let me move down here. This is our line of sight for flat Earth, and this is the line of sight for the curved Earth. We'll see that in a second. So we keep pulling out, and we keep going over here, and we're going pretty far. Okay, so this first mess here is our mountain. Remember, we had a 3484. Okay, so first I did was draw the mountain on the Earth, on the globe Earth. Okay, now it does show 3434 when it was supposed to be 3484, so we can actually move that up a little bit to 3484-ish, 3482 I saw. I'll take 82. 83 is good. Okay, there's our 3484, and then we have to do the same thing for the mountain on the flat Earth, right? It's taking off from the green baseline, the flat Earth. So we're going to go up here, make sure this says 3484. That went too much. 34, 70 something, 76. Probably good enough. We can 34. Yeah, we're just gonna have to stick with it. I liked it better. Stop doing that. Come on, 34, 84. Yeah, we'll just do 3,500 for now. I wonder why it's doing that automatically. Because hitting this one. Let's move this out of the way. 34. There we go. 34, 88. Good enough. Okay, so remember this blue line here. You can't see it. Is the line of sight from the person, me, standing at the hill. And what we know is that we cannot see anything behind this hill, right? So this would be all blocked, this would be all blocked, this would be all blocked. And then as soon as we can see above that hill, so we're just going to place this line of sight right above that hill. And actually, you really should put it right on it, or a little bit like that. Okay, because as soon as the rocket breaches this mountain, we should be able to see it. So there's our line for a flat Earth. Now let's go and check if we are correct with a curved Earth. And we should be looking for that. And this gets confusing because it just so happens that the line of sight and mountaintop equals the height of the flat Earth. It's just a coincidence. But and here's our line of sight for the curved Earth. And so we just, again, you'll notice that here's the curvature of the Earth is, sorry, let me back out of here so you can see this. Okay, so stop it. There. So here's the mountain, and you'll notice that it almost is that you don't even need, it's not in the way because you don't need, almost don't even need it. But we will go with it anyway. We will, because we have this little bit here, and we're going to be seeing right over the top of it here. And now we got that. Okay, so that's the curved Earth looking above it. And now let's go down to where we're looking, the observation. We got everything set up. We got both mountains are equal height. We've got our line of sights missing the mountain in each case. Let's keep going, and we'll see what happens at the full distance of the observation, which is 185 miles. And here we go. Okay, so this is the launch location. If you go to Google Earth again, you'll see that the height of the launch is about, let me see if we can bring this up here. Let's go to Google Earth, and we're going to scroll down here. I forgot if it's 500 or 400. I forgot what it is. We will go check. All right, so we're here, and Launch Complex 4, and we got a elevation 474, 475, 485, 492, somewhere in there. 495. Okay, so that's our elevation of where this launch took place. So we're going to go back and make sure that is set. So we can see the line. It says 497. That's good enough, right? So 497 is where we are. And then you'll notice that my launch takes place from that spot. Okay, and then we can go up here, and we will see the mountain here as well on the flat Earth of the same height, should be 498. Okay, there you go. So there's our mountain on the flat Earth. I'm sorry, well, it's the hill that the launch is taking place from. Okay, so then this red line here is me calculating, taking from the launch position straight up until we hit our line of sight, right? Because that's where the person can see the rocket for the first time. And you'll notice that it shows 8222. It says M, it's not meters, it's feet. So on a flat Earth, we cannot see that rocket until it is 8,222 feet high. Okay. So for everybody, I know people have said in the past, oh, if it's a flat Earth, you should see it right away. Well, no, not necessarily. You have to look above the mountain that would be on the flat Earth, and you're not going to see it until it's 8,222 feet high. And here's what I said we're doing. We have two options. The Earth is flat or the Earth is a sphere. We're taking a look at both of them. We're going to go make the observation, and we're going to see which one it matches closer to. That's it. So there's no presuppositions going on here. There is no cheating. It's make an observation, check which one it fits best. Okay. Oh wait, I thought that is my chat not on? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Lick that like button. Thank you. Thank you very much. No Dick Wayne. Thank you very much. Please don't do that to us. All right. So 8,222 feet. Oops. Just move that out of the way. Okay. That's on a flat Earth. I wrote that down. There's our mountain cup. And then this one is, just showing you. Well, let's go look at this first. I'm going to bring up the Metabunk curve calculator. So you go Metabunk curve calc, just to see what it says as far as the drop, and then see if it matches my model, which if it does, then I've got a pretty good model. So distance in miles is 185. Height in feet doesn't really matter. For a geometric drop, it stays the same no matter what our height in feet is. So, but we will put it in anyway. We were at, now I can't remember, 370, something like that, whatever. And then we're going to go here. All right, so you'll notice, and just to show you that I'm not, oops, why can't you see that? Let's move this over this way. Hold on. My screen is sized wrong again. There we go. All right. So you'll notice that here it shows 19,516. Oops, we want to go to here. Geometric drop. 22,834 right here. Okay. So you'll notice that no matter what I put up here for the viewer height in feet, even if I put another 0 here to make it 3,700, it doesn't change that. Okay. So the 22,834 is not going to change. It is the geometric drop from level. Okay. So if we go back to GeoGebra, we take from the level and we notice that mine calculates in at 22,799. Okay. So theirs was what? 22, you're talking, 834. We're off by 40 feet, something like that, which is just perfect. I mean, it means that it's calculating correctly for me, the drop. I didn't even need this, right? So we do have the drop correct. We're good there. Let's go back. So that's the geometric drop. So, I know what I was doing with this. So let's move this back over here. The red line is our height that we would see the rocket. So remember, it's got to go above and it's got to hit this purple line, which is our line of sight. So we're just going to put that up till we get to the purple. And what do we get? That's when we should see it on a globe. And we get 22,348. Okay, so we got pretty big differences, right? We've got on a flat Earth, we should see the rocket when it's 8,222 feet high. And on a globe Earth, we should see it when it's 22,799 high. Okay. Now, the great thing about this is that this is also, they don't know where I'm filming from. So there's no way to fake this. There's no way to, because anybody in California can go out and watch these launches. And so if you had, let's say we had somebody at 100 miles away and somebody at 150 miles away and somebody at 200 miles away and somebody at 250 miles away, they would in progression be able to see the rocket hit their horizon. The first person, the closest person's going to see it first. The furthest person's going to see it last. Makes sense, right? So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for 22,348, which will be globe evidence. If it's more along the lines of 8,222, it's flat Earth evidence. So that's basically all we need from this chart. Okay, so that's basically what it's telling us. We now know where to expect to see the rocket. So let's go to, let's check this out first. Let me bring over the pot player. Where's pot? Pot player, there we go. And bring it up over here. All right, so this is my observation spot looking off yonder. And I did 2 cameras. So we have this one, and then we also have the infrared. And you'll get to see the difference between the two, which is quite astounding. And then we'll be able to zoom in to make sure we get the exact time. So here's my issue. Well, number one, I showed up at this place and thought I had about 5 minutes, set up my cameras. And I have this contraption now where I put 2 cameras on this little pole and try and operate my tripod thing with 2 cameras. So I have the infrared and the regular shot. But this didn't go very well because I definitely have the infrared at the beginning, but then when I start using the other camera and zooming in, I lose it with the infrared. But it's still fine. That's why you have dual cameras. And then this is the actual live stream from SpaceX, paused and ready to go at about the right time. Just so we can watch a little bit of that. Is it actually playing? Yeah, it is. All right, so we'll get close to the launch here. So now we have to sync it up, okay? So with that, remember that if I was, so I wanted to point this out. So when I got to the place, I got ready, I was getting set up. I didn't know that my feed from SpaceX was about a minute behind. So usually I start recording about 2 minutes before the launch. This time I started recording about 1 minute or so. And I think I missed it by a little bit, but we'll still be able to rewind and see when it would have been. So I'll show you what I mean. But we just missed it by a hair. Anyway, and I'm getting better. I'm figuring these out. The best time to go is the evening. This is why I haven't gone in a while, is because they keep having them during the day where I can't see. It's just too bright in the sky. I've seen it a couple times, but you don't see it when it gets to the horizon. You see it way up higher. But these nighttime ones are pretty great. So let's go to this one and we'll watch this. Here's what we need to determine, what our next goal is. We have to determine when we see the craft launch, okay? So watch in this region right about here, and I want you to tell me when you see, there it is. Okay, so you'll notice that we just saw it. Here it is. Okay, but we have to figure out when was that so we can get the time. So we're looking at the infrared first. Let me write this down, infrared. Okay, now we're going to zoom in on here. Let me show you how we do that. We're going to do control draw. Okay, so we're now looking, and that is the rocket. So we're just going to rewind and see what time exactly. You'll notice we see it there. I still see it there. I see it. I don't think I see it at 37. Let's look at 36, 35. Let's press play and see. Okay, I think I saw it a little earlier than that. What do we have? 44. Let me go back to 41. Okay, I think it's 44. Let me check. Okay, I saw it a second before this, so I'm going to go with 43. Okay, so we can go back 1 second. We might not even see it, but I think, let me try one more time. So I see it here flicker a little bit. I would say 43 or 42 seconds in is when we see it on the infrared. So let's go with 42. Okay, so we see it at 42 seconds on the infrared. Let's go to the regular camera and see if we, and again, I would have recorded these by pressing on one of the cameras and then move my hand to the other one and pressed on that one. So they're not going to be synced as far as the time, but I'll show you why it doesn't matter. So we're going to be watching this one now. Did I zoom in on this already? Oops, hold on. Let me zoom out. Control this way. There we go. So we'll get in about right here. And I believe that it's the infrared sees it way sooner. I still don't see it. Still don't see it. Still nothing. Okay, so you'll see that I just saw it right here, but way up higher past the horizon. Do you see it? Let me rewind a little bit. Watch right there. You'll notice it. Okay, there. So now we can try and see if we can get it any earlier. You can see it here. Maybe you can't see it. I know you're seeing secondhand, but we're going to zoom in a lot right there. So we're going to go control in this. Okay, so we're even closer. And then we're going to try and adjust some of these colors and see if we can get it any brighter. Let's go with this. Hello? And let's see if this can fix anything here. So if we, usually if we turn brightness, oops. Hey, how this thing doesn't do it while I'm, let's say press play. Oops.
Telemetry nominal.
Knock it off. We're just playing with this to see if we can get a better view of the light there.
Supersonic.
It's pretty good there. Okay, so I'm going to go with there. Hold on 1 second. Let me pause it and go backwards on this one. Control. I said control this way. Okay, so now we can get a little better view. Let's see if we see it any earlier. See it there. I see it there. I see it. I see it. I'd say about 40. Yeah, I know. You might not be able to see it. I can see it. Let me rewind a little bit. Control here.
Power and telemetry.
Okay, let's see if we can figure out where we see it first. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can see it right there. So we definitely see it there. So you can see where the infrared is way better. That's a pretty good view at 56. Now let's go back to 51. You can see it there. This is at 47. See if we... Yeah, so I don't see it before 47. Let's go to 34 and watch. I'm going to zoom in even closer. Okay, so I see it about 47 is the soonest. How about you guys? Probably you're going to see it worse than me. So it's right there. I see it. And then it comes clear there. But you can tell that that's probably got quite a few seconds there that we're missing. So we're going to put 47 seconds on the regular camera. Okay, but now as we watch this regular shot, let me get out of my bad graphics here. Default. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to get a better view. Okay, now we're going to zoom out. All right, so now what we're doing is we're going to watch for stage step. So you'll see this will appear clear. See, what I did is I grabbed the camera, then I start zooming in, and then I kind of lose it with the infrared. But we can look at the infrared camera. You can see it here. And you'll notice it wasn't even a clear day. You can see this cloud layer here. You can see it with the infrared better. Here's me getting ready to zoom in. And again, what you're hearing, the announcers, is on my iPad, so it's delayed. So don't pay attention to that. We're just looking at this rocket for now. We're trying to look at when is stage separation, since we now have the time that it appeared above the horizon.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
So we're looking for that time period where the first and second stage separate. The rockets go off. I'll show you that in a second, and it's easy to figure out. Luckily, I got a pretty good view of that. So again, we're looking for when the rockets go off. We got to pause it right at that time. Looks like still rockets going. I still see fire. Still see fire. Still see fire. Off. You notice that? It went off, right? So we can easily find that time. Let's go back. We're looking for that rocket to go off right there. Okay, so you'll see that the rockets unlight at 2 minutes 12 seconds for the regular camera. 2:12 for the regular camera. And then let's see, there's two more things happening. The next thing is going to be a relight and then a ignition. Okay, so you're going to see the second stage light up, takes a second, and then boom, the rocket starts going. So we're going to get both those times. Let's watch. So now we're going to be looking over here since the rocket is going to appear. There it is. And then it's not relit yet, is it? Nope. Now watch. Light and go. Okay, so we need to then go back and figure out what time that was. So watch it. You guys can see it? Yeah. Okay, so this part here, I'm going to zoom in on this. Okay, so we're watching that. We're trying to get the exact time of the relight. Is that a relight? Okay, that looks like ignition is right here. Watch, you can see it go. Boom, now it starts taking off. So it kind of relights right before that. And then we're going to check the site and see if ours coincides with what the site says. So it looks like there it's going. And then as soon as we see it again, I think that is the relight. Boom, relight. So we're going to put relight at 2:19. 2:19, a relight. And then ignition is going to be about 2-3 seconds after that. Watch. And ignition. Boom, go. Now it's going. Okay, let's just get that exact time. There's the relight and ignition. So ignition at 2:21. Okay, so let me show you over here what that looks like on their charts. So we got to go to, where was I putting left screen? Yeah. All right, so now let's go to this browser launcher thing. Okay, so this is showing you, this is what I went to yesterday. It is the SpaceX launch. This one, we can go to its details, which are always listed below. I wanted to show you first this. This is the trajectory. And watch how important, oops, you can't see, sorry. Watch how important this is. Notice, remember where I am. Oops, come on. I'm way up north here, looking down. We had it coming in this direction. So as it leaves, the second that it launches, it's going away from me. So anybody talking about, oh, what you're seeing is perspective, oh, it's coming into view, oh, it's getting closer to you. No, it's going further away from me. So it should be getting smaller and going away. It shouldn't be, this is why it's going off in this direction. It's going down away from me, going south. So every second that the thing is in the air, it's going further away from me, okay? And let's go back here just to see if there's anything else here. I think it shows, no, nothing there. Okay. Oh, wait, where's the, hold on, there's a page that you can click to that gives you all the details. Let me see where it's at. It's the one that shows, no, where is it at? Last updated, not this one, learn more about, no. Find the best place, no. Here we go. So this is view the launch timeline. So we're looking at that, and you'll notice that it says go for load, and this is the actual time. So we can go here, engine chill, then we have a startup, we have a go for launch, we have an ignition, it lifts off. We are looking for MECO, right? So MECO is the cutoff of the main engine. It shows that at 2:24. So we're going to put this down, and we're going to check it and see if that coincides. So MECO at 2:24 on the clock. We've got stage 2 separation at 2:28. And then we've got first start of the second engine, which would be relight at 2:35. Is that what it says? 2:35. Okay. And I'm just looking over here at our numbers. So we had 2:12. And remember, the times are going to be off. We're not looking if they match yet. We're just looking at the time between, they show MECO 2:24, relight 2:28. What do they call the other thing? MECO 2:24, stage separation 2:28, and then relight at 2:35. Okay, so they have a total of 11 seconds that passes between main engine cutoff and the ignition, and we had 2:12 to 2:21. So we had that's 11 seconds for them. We had 9 seconds. Let's look at our difference between. They had 2:12, then 2:19 relight, 2:21, a difference of 2 seconds. We have 2:28, 2:35, 2:19, 2:21, 2:35 to 2:12. So that's 9 for them, 11 for us. I mean, 11 for them, 9 for us. Close enough. We're pretty close. Okay, so now we're going to go back to here and watch the SpaceX version and see if their times match the times that it shows, which it should. It's a, it's the basic mission characterization. Let's go here.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, you can't see. Sorry, one
Ignition.
second. It's coming up. It is taken off.
And lift off of Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Let me get out of my bad zoom. There we go. Okay, so we're watching this clock here, which is the mission clock. And once we figure this out, we can then sync our two videos and everything will be synced together. And then we can actually make a determination of what time and height that we saw the rocket. So here we are at 2:22. Oh, you know what would be interesting to see? Let me stop it actually. So remember, we know our distances, 8,222 feet and 22,799. Let's figure out what times those are already. So we're looking again. So we want to figure out what is 8,222 feet in kilometers. I'll do this on the side here. 8,222 feet in kilometers is 2.50. Okay, so we're going to look for 2.50 kilometers. What time? So we need to know the clock. Okay, that's when we're supposed to see it for a flat Earth, and then we need to look at 22,799 feet. 22,799 feet in kilometers is 6.94. 6.94, and we want to know what time. Okay, so we're waiting. See down here where we got 1.6. We're just going to stop it when we get to 2.5. That's where we should see it for a flat Earth. And we'll figure out what time that is, and we'll see if we see it then. So 2.5 kilometers now. There you go, 2.5 kilometers. We are at 36 seconds on the clock. So we're putting 36 seconds is when we should see it for a flat Earth. 36 seconds. And then we ought to wait till 6.94 for the globe. Let it go. We're at 4.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Okay, coming up here, 6.94. We'll go with the, oops, oh, fine. So that's 7. And we're at 56 seconds. 56 seconds for the globe. So again, there's no presuppositions here. We did everything mathematically. We figured it out exactly. We know that at 36 seconds, we should see, 36 seconds after launch, we should see it on a flat Earth. And at 56 seconds after launch, we should see it on a globe. Okay, let's keep going. So we now are going to check the times of the MECO and all that to see if they match the mission profile. Okay, so we're at 155. Remember, they show it at MECO at 224. Let's see if that matches.
Vehicle is following a nominal trajectory.
Okay, coming up on 224. Look like close. I don't know about that one. A little off on that one, I think.
Separation confirmed.
Let me show you what I would go by, which I think is better. Look at this number here, the clock going up, or the speed, because that's when you're going to know your MECO happened, was when you lose your speed. So look how it's going, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. Uh-oh, it stopped. That's where MECO happened. So let's find out.
The nominal trajectory. The nominal trajectory.
So again, it's moving pretty consistently, 62, 63, 64, 65, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it slowed down. So right there is when you have MECO. So I have it at 228. I'm going to write that down, 228. Let's see what they have 228 as the. Let me see what did they have 228 as? I don't remember over here. 228 was the 228 was stage separation. Okay, let's see. Ah, you idiot. Clicked it. Where are we at here? 220, 204, 214, 224. Okay, so let's see. 228 looks like when Miko happens, then we've got
Stage separation confirmed.
okay, so stage separation, and then watch the relight. Boom. And then remember I said the ignition. There's the ignition and it goes. Okay.
And back startup.
So now we need to make sure that we sync, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring them both on the same page so we can do it at the same time, because we just have to match those now. We have to match this, and it seems like every time I get unlucky, like I wish they would show they always go to that inside camera right at Miko, so you can't really figure out exactly when it is, but you can get close enough. I'll show you. Because remember, we're just looking for, this is going to go off. Oops, maybe a little further. A little further. Okay, so we're looking for the engine to go off, which is going to be 228.
Stage separation confirmed.
Okay, they separate, and then, so I haven't seen it relight yet. There's the relight. So we're going to try and match that relight with our relight over here. So let me get this on screen. So we're going to close, we're going to make this a little smaller. And, oh, no, I forgot. I have to do this over here. Wrong screen. Falcon Heavy, nope, not that one, this one. And we said, what time is it? This video's at 13 minutes, 17 seconds. 13, 17. Okay, there, stop. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this up for you. You can see this one. Let's go back to this screen here. Okay, let's stop that. Now stop. You see it's still lit there. We're going to, let's put this over here. Okay, so we're just getting both these on screen. We're getting the, I need to go scene, and this is called left side. Left screen. All right, so we're going to put both these on screen, and we're going to sync them. Okay, so now you can see that we've got both videos on the screen. And now our goal is going to be to sync these up. So let's see if we can pause it right at the relight. There, okay, so there's our relight on their camera, and let's get the relight here. And go. Play. So there's the stage sep, or main engine cutoff. And look for the relight here. That's it there. Okay, so we can actually see, let's go back just a hair. Boom. Okay, so there's our relight. You can see it appear there. So right about here, I think it's perfect. Okay, so I just want to make a mark of this, and then we're going to press play and see if it stays in line. So I have down that at 218 on the regular camera is the relight. And what time are we at on the mission? 2:37. At 2:37. So what that tells us right away, what we now know is that the rocket launched 19 seconds before I started filming. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Is that if we're matching these up, and on my camera it happens at 2:18, but on their mission it happens at 2:37, then it means that if we just need to go 19 seconds, add that to the clock, and we're back to even. And I'll show you why that works. Okay, so we're good now. We've got a relight. Let's press play on both these. I want to see how I can do this at the same time. So if I put, I don't know if I really can. Let's back this one up a little bit. Wait, how am I going to press play? So we said this is at 2:37. Let me just press play here about 2 seconds early. Not, come on, 2:30. Gotta go. So we said 2:37, and I'm going to start this one over here. Okay, so we're waiting on that to get to 2:37. And then we're going to go 2:30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, go. Let's see if it matches. Sorry, the screen's not big enough for the whole thing to be in there. That's so cool that you can zoom in on something so freaking far away. Yeah, you can actually see these. And I didn't know if I should watch the booster come back. I've never actually watched the booster come back, but I stayed on the craft. You can see now this matching. So this actually looks to me, does this look a little bit different timing? Let me keep an eye on this. It's hard to tell how far they're zoomed in. You know, if I zoom out, I might get the same view, but I'm trying to see if we can notice any. Oh, see, last time I was able to sync up with those bursts. Watch. Oh, I'm going to actually cut this off. I want to see this screen only. Make it bigger. It's good. I'm just trying to see if we can sync these two. We're going to put this one up there. And let me actually... I'm going to go watch it from here again. Back here. 230. 230 there. And which... come on. Lost my mouse. We said what time? 2:18, 2:30. Okay, that's going up there. Let me pause this. It's paused it. Whoops. It's supposed to be paused. 2:32. Okay, there's the relight. Relight. Okay, so that's ignition right there. So ignition at 2:41. Let's watch over here. I'm going to actually get a little bit closer on this one too. Zoom in. There. Now we got good views. Stay on it. Oops. 2:18 regular camera, sorry. We're way off. Okay, here we go. So I'm just trying to find the relight here, and you see it here. Oops, you can't see that. Move over. There we go. It's a little bit too zoomed in. So there you go. So that's the relight, which then we're looking for the ignition, which is just a second later. Watch. You can see it. You'll watch it. Watch this ignition as it lights up and then goes fast. Watch. Boom. And it, right? So that's the ignition. So we're trying to match that up. It's right after this. Right there. Let's go with this one. It's already ready. It just relit right at 2:41. 2:41 is the relight on SpaceX camera. And we have over here 2:22, which is great, right? If you notice that, what's the difference between those? 19 seconds again. So we are still lined up at 19 seconds different. Let's press play and play real quick. Hold on, I gotta try and, is it 2:41? Oh, I hate how fast that goes. 2:41, 2:41, 2:24, 2:33, here it comes. 2:41, and 2:41, 38, 39, 40, 41, go. Okay, so now you'll notice that we are gonna be synced up. Okay, so I have 19 seconds different. It happened twice, 2 different times rechecking that. 19 seconds off. Okay, so now we know. Now we need to see when we see the rocket. So remember, we already did that. We checked and we got infrared, we saw at 42 seconds. Regular camera, we saw at 47 seconds. But we have on the regular camera 47 seconds, but we'd have to add to that the 19 seconds of time that's off on the cameras. Okay, so that equals 56 seconds. So it means that we should, we see it at 56 seconds. Okay, and then we see the 56 seconds is when we see it. Okay, 56 seconds on the mission clock. So we're now going to figure out when is that, what is the height, right? So we got to go to here. We're going to go to takeoff, and that's going to be our answer. So there's 50. Let's see what height that's at 56. Okay, so this is where we see it. Oops, you can't see it. Sorry, hold on one second. Let me fix this again. You've got to go to this side, left side, and that is a left screen. Okay, so we're going to go, you'll see I'm at 56 seconds here. Come on. Come on. There. Okay, so we see it at 56. Okay, which was the, oh, wait. My math is wrong. Be a minute 6. My bad. You could just figure that out. It's a minute 6. It's 47 seconds plus the 19. So 106. Right? 13 would be, and then 6 more. Yep, 106. Okay, so 106 is what we're looking for, not 56. Let's keep going. $106. Okay, so we're at 10.2, and we were supposed to see it at 7 kilometers if we were on a globe, and we were supposed to see it at 2.5 kilometers if we are a flat Earth. So you notice we're nowhere near flat. I mean, flat says that we should see it at 36 seconds in. Globe says 56, and it looks like we saw it at 106. Now, I think that if we went and looked at the infrared camera, we would see that maybe we actually could see it maybe 2-3 seconds earlier than that. But it's still not going to get us anywhere near flat. How are we supposed to see it at 36 seconds? So we've 42 and 47, and we're supposed to see it at 36. And you still haven't added the 19. So, I mean, you're nowhere near. Let's go back and watch this. Let's see what that says. So if we go to, oops, I keep moving way past that. So here's the launch, and we're going to 36 seconds is when we should see it on a flat Earth. Let's go to there again. So 36, there. 1, 2, 3, right? What was the total? 2.5 kilometers? Yeah. So there's 36, 2.5 kilometers, right? So this is where we should see it for the flat Earth. So we should see it at 36 seconds. And remember, it was behind, meaning that it's going before we do, or it started before we did. And then we saw it at, on the infrared, 42 seconds. 42 seconds plus the 19 for launch is how we got to the minute. And I'm sorry, that's minute 6 from 47 would be 101 or 107 or 106. Sorry, we keep saying 106. Okay, so that's good. So here's what we've found is that we saw it, it looks like at 10 kilometers. Okay, 10 kilometers high. Now, I've had this problem in the past is that I keep getting the numbers that come back past the globe. Okay, so meaning that it's not anywhere near flat, but also I've got a problem. Why do I always see it well after I'm supposed to? Well, I'll show you why I figured out I think that's happening. You tell me if you think this is correct. If we go to GeoGebra, this is why you saw that red line off. I started thinking, okay, but here's the problem, is that we're measuring straight up from the launch, but that's not what's happening. The craft is actually going south of me, so it's going away from me, and that's why I was dragging this. Oops, don't drag that one, drag the red line. Okay, so, hello? Okay, so as I drag this red line, watch what happens, because this is pretty interesting. So remember, it's been traveling at a minute 6. How many miles has it gone downhill? How many miles has it gone away from me, right? Because look at this number here that's growing. See this number here? And I'm not very far off here. I put this little line here so you can see this. Notice that it says, so this is 20,000 feet past the takeoff location. Okay, so that's 20,000 feet. That's only 4 miles. Is it 4 miles downrange? I'm guessing it's further than 4 miles downrange. So if it's further than that, then this line is even further. It means I'm not seeing the rocket because it's going this way, right? It's going this way. So if you'd have to figure out where is the rocket at that time? Think about it. The rocket's not going straight up. It's going away from me. So it's further from me. So I'm actually not looking 185 miles. I'm probably looking way further. Now, I thought that SpaceX would tell us. They don't actually show you. Whoops. Where's SpaceX? Here. They don't actually show you what the downrange is, right? They just show altitude. I don't see any downrange. So it's hard to tell because I don't know how far that downrange that is. We just have to basically take a guess. But let's see, because maybe we could do the backwards math. And what if we did that and we found out that that is right? Well, then what a big confirmation that would be. So what I'm saying is if we bring up the geometry and we say, okay, well, we saw it at a minute 6, which was 10 kilometers high. Okay, well, what is the height of 10 kilometers? Let's figure that out. Let's go 10 kilometers to feet. So 32,808. Okay, so that's where we see it. That's when we first see it. So let's go back to the GeoGebra. What did I say? 32,808. Okay, and you'll notice that, look at this. I'm already, well, we were way up high there. But 32,808 would be right here, a little bit further, 32.6, 33, 32.6, 32, 32.9. Okay, so if that craft is downrange 23,000 feet, which is 5 miles, then it is going to be seen here because this is the launch height of the rocket. Now, I don't know if you then took that line and drew it here, but then remember our distance is further, right? So the question becomes, when they say a rocket is a certain height off the ground, are they talking about the height from the pad like this, or do they draw a straight line here? But regardless, it kind of weird that it matches. And I wonder how you could tell how far down range it was. You could look at the speed. Let's look at the speed. See, that's not going to help us because it's not going straight laterally. But let's just talk about again what we can say for sure. Did we see the rocket anywhere near 8,222 feet? Well, we just determined we saw it at 32,000 feet. Okay, that's where we saw it, 32,000. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You could say you saw it a little earlier than that, maybe 30,000 feet. I mean, you're not going to be able to say, if we look back at the infrared, that we saw it 20 seconds before that. Let's go back to the infrared just because it's our best view. Let me bring it up. Come on. And bring this up. So watch this and you tell me, I mean, there's no way. As soon as I bring this up here, where's the pop layer? There. Okay, so let's watch this. Move this out of the way. Be gone. Move this over. Okay. So you'll see it there. Well, let's just zoom in here. Let's see what the earliest we could pop. No, don't zoom in there. Okay, there. Okay, well, let's watch this. Okay, so I saw it right there. Let's go back a little bit. So, I mean, even if you went back and said 30 seconds, which is way too early because look at, I don't see it there. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Still don't see it. There it is. Right there. So you're talking, I mean, you could say 42, 41, even 40, but you cannot go further than that. I mean, so that would be 9 seconds early. Again, we could do the calculations on that, but it's still going to be 32,000 minus those 9 seconds is going to put us in the 25,000s, 26, 27, 28,000s. So it's nowhere near 8,000. So if you're talking about which model better matches, well, the Globe, without a doubt. Now I just need to figure out, because this has happened now 3 times in a row, where we keep coming back, and we actually always get the same time. We always get 1 minute 4 seconds to 1 minute 6 seconds. It's been every time. So at 104 to 106, we're noticing that the distance is about 32,000 feet. And we're supposed to see it at 22,000 feet. So there is a disparity there, but it's certainly not in favor of the flat Earth. It's completely in favor of the globe. It's just, the question becomes, why am I seeing it a little bit later than I should, according to the math? Well, it's because the rocket is going away from me. This looks like it's coming towards me. Look at, watch. Let me just press play. Watch how it looks like it's coming towards me. That's actually going away from me and left. So it's getting further and further away with every second that goes. This rocket is flying away from me. It's crazy, huh? So this light getting brighter and brighter and brighter is simply it getting out of the atmosphere, getting out of the heavy part of the atmosphere. Because it can't be, let me get out of that zoom. Come on. What's going on? Control. Oh, well, I don't think it does it when it's playing. Let me pause this. I just want to get out of the zoom. There we go. All right. No, it's not a star. Look at Flat Earth is going crazy. Like, look at the star. Look at how crazy it is. It's a blinking orb of light. No, that's just not in focus. So, well, you see bad camera work is because I'm operating 2 cameras at the same time on 1 tripod, trying to move them both. I won't do it. I'll have to figure out something to do next time. It's not going to work. I do like having the infrared and the other camera, though. See, because then I lose it until all the way right here because I'm zooming in on the other camera. Now you can see it there. Okay, but what it tells us is that we see it there at 50. I mean, there's nobody who could say it should be at earlier than 40 seconds. Where do we see it? There. Okay, so I see it definitely 48. Yeah, I mean, even at 30 seconds, it's not going to do you any good. 30, even if you saw it here, which we don't, but let's say we did, even at 30 seconds plus the 19, so then we see at, that would be 49. And what is it at 49? 49 seconds. And that's, I mean, right there, that's just complete make-believe by giving you those numbers. I just want to see what it would put us at. So at 49, how high are we? So at 49, we are 48, 49. So we're at 5.2 kilometers. And again, that's way too, it's not even near the flat Earth. 5.2 kilometers is not very far off from the 6.9, but it's very far off from the 2.5, right? So how are we going to get to 2.5? There's just no way. So the flat Earth has no chance. I mean, because there's no answer for where is it. I just gave you an answer for the globe of where it might be, right? Oh, it's flying away from me, so it's actually getting further down range. So it actually has to be higher for me to see it at that downrange position. But as far as the flat Earth, there's no explanation. It's behind the mountain. We should see it. What did we say? At 8,000 feet, which should have been at 2.5 kilometers. Let's go to 2.5 kilometers just to see where that was again. 2.5 was pretty early, wasn't it? 2.5. Oops, that's way too far. 2.5. Okay, there. 3, 4, 5. So 2.5 at 36 seconds, and we don't see it until a minute and 6 seconds. Okay, so we saw it 30 seconds later. And then if we're supposed to see it at 7, let's go to 7. There's 6.7. So, oops, went one too far. So when we get to 7, we'll pause it there, and then we'll just see the difference. Which one's closer? Here comes 6.5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Okay, so we're at 56 seconds, right? So we either saw it 10 seconds late, right? It's supposed to be 56. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry. Let's go to this one. Left screen. All right, this one. So here's at 56 seconds. It's 7 kilometers high, which is at the height that we're supposed to see it. So 56 seconds, but we saw it at a minute 6. So we're 10 seconds off there. But again, if we were supposed to see it at 36 for the flat Earth, we saw it at 106. So we were 30 seconds off flat Earth. That's basically it. Until I figure out why it is that I'm seeing it late, which I'm sure I just have to talk to the guys that have done this before, and they'll probably tell me what we're getting wrong. I'm assuming it has to do with that downrange because it's going away from me. And the height that they're measuring, I guess I don't know. Are they measuring the height from the ground that it's above, or are they measuring the height from the ground it took off? Makes a difference for me in calculating that. But if that's what it is, again, let's bring up GeoGebra just to show you. By moving this line of when we see it, you get that height difference. So I wonder if we do go, I wonder how far we have to go to get a height above the ground of 32. Let me see. This one here. Oops. Yes, thank you. Oh, it's not going to let me move it off of this, is it? Let me just do another one. I'm going to do a segment. I just want to see, oops. I just want to see if it goes from the ground. When do we get to that 30? Move it over here. I don't know how far downrange it would be, but let's go here. Let's just see what this height is. Oops, all the way over there. Come on, zoom out. All right, so we're going to here. I just want to see the difference between that number and this number. Can you please grab the thing? Okay, so this one up here to this one here. Go straight. Thank you. All right, let's check that, which is distance or height. There, that one. So that, see, it's not very high when you go there. So if that's not the calculation, if it is actually just from the ground, then how far would we have to go? Let me see here. So how far would you have to go to make it 32? Let's make it have to go pretty far. But, and maybe it's that far downrange. I don't know the downrange speed that it goes, or the downrange. Can you get this for me, please? Clear. Get rid of that stick. All right. So I don't know what the downrange is. If anybody knows how to find that, I would like to find out basically how far downrange is it at a certain time period. I don't know. That might be our answer, though. But it certainly can't be the flat Earth. There's just no way. We said, here's the rocket taking off from the flat Earth. Even if you said, oh, it's going this way, well, look, the Earth is flat. So you're not going to get any extra height. So, you know, if you saw it way down here, you're still not even very high. Let's say it's way down here, which is just ridiculous at this point. But let's look at it and see what that height would be. It's going to be so low. So we just need to know what that height is. At calculator, where are you at? Distance. Let's see what that distance is. So, I mean, there you go. You're to 10,000. So look how far downrange this is, past where it is. But look at this line stays true pretty much the whole way. So you're not going to, it can't be flat. There's just no other way to look at it. Even if the rocket is flying this direction laterally, trying to get above a spot that you can see it, well, how quickly is it above 10,000 feet? Very quickly. And if we keep going with this, it's going to just, why does that thing do that? I don't know why it does that. Like gets stuck. Oh, because I have the distance on there. Okay, so let's go with this one. Still not doing it. Okay, let's do it again. So yeah, again, hopefully that makes sense to you. I'm just trying to see if that's what's happening, which is what we're claiming, is what I'm claiming for the flat Earth is happening. I'm sorry, for the globe Earth is happening. If somebody says, "Oh, well, couldn't the flat Earth do the same thing?" Sure, but how far are you going to go downrange? For instance, if we go to 200,000, okay, so 20 million. Is that 20 million or 200,000? 2 million. Okay, so 2 million is twice as far, right? 2 million feet. If it's twice as far, think about that. It's ridiculous. That means that instead of filming it going 185 miles times 5280 is, 976. So let's times that by 2. So now imagine that instead of 185 miles, I'm doing 370 miles, which is not true. But that's what it would take to go 370 miles at the 1.9 million here. Watch this. Let's get a segment here and go at the 190, whatever it was, something close to 2 million. Let's go 198 here. But again, it's going to be so low because it's a flat Earth. Where's the stupid calculator thing? I can never find that thing. I don't know why they don't put it somewhere more noticeable. There it is, distance. Okay, so let's see what this is. So I mean 17,000. So you'll see the problem here is that now we're calculating at, it would be like me seeing that rocket 370 miles away. And still, we'd only be seeing it at 17,000 feet high. No, we don't see it until it looks like it's 32,000. So again, how far would I have to draw this line to get to 32,000? Pretty much twice as far, right? Twice as far would be then 700 miles. I'm not seeing the rocket 700 miles away. So the Earth cannot be flat because we would see it way sooner. There's no mechanism to hide the rocket from us. Right? No matter what you say. Because again, this is what Dave Weiss says. Dave Weiss says something ridiculous, which actually debunks most of Flat Earth's best evidence, which would be like Canagoo, something like that. Dave Weiss says that let me show you on this just so you can get it. He says there's actually a cloud of, clouds. There's a deck of clouds that is blocking, let me get down here. So imagine all these clouds, he says, that are 20,000 feet high are all bunching up here and then they're blocking the rocket launch. Okay. But if that were true, imagine that. When we see Canagoo, it's 175 miles away. You're 1,000 feet up in the sky, and you can see the mountain, right? Well, Dave Weiss says that you can't see rocket launches because 20,000-foot clouds condense down to the horizon line, and everything's hidden behind that. If that were true, you wouldn't see Canagoo. Canagoo would be behind the 20,000-foot clouds. Canagoo's only 9,000 feet tall. So it makes no sense. This is what Flat Earth does, is that Dave will make up an excuse like that, and everybody just whistles past it. Nobody worries about it. Nobody works on it. And this is why I got out, because I said, I can't do that anymore. I can't just, that didn't work either. Just forget about it. Okay. And that doesn't work. Just forget it. Shelve it. All right. How many of those can you do? And then they find something that they think is new, like this celestial theodolite thing, and they'll just end up being wrong. But right now it's the biggest proof. It's the only thing Witzit talked about through the whole debate over and over again, even though he's never measured it. He's never been out there and measured anything. He's just claiming that there's some guy who says he has. Great. But it's wrong. It's not going to be correct. It's going to end up being wrong. It'll end up being forgotten. And it means that for 6 months, they've been focused on something that's wrong. Okay. So again, we saw it at 1:06, which gave us a height of 32,000 when we expected to see it at 22,000. We didn't see it at 8,000, which was expected on a flat Earth. We saw it at 32,000, way higher than a flat Earth. So again, somebody could come and say, oh, well, the globe Earth didn't match the observation either. Well, I'm not positive about that because I don't know how they measured the downrange. It is going away from us, but it does look like we don't see it until 32,000 when we're supposed to see it at 22,000. So that's it. I would love to see people film this in California. You can just go to this website. It's very easy to figure out when to do it. And you can actually put alerts on your phone. That's how I know when it's coming up. Let me show you. So if you go to here, and here. So if you go to, it's called, I just type in Vandenberg launch, but it's called spacelaunchschedule.com. Let me show you the upcoming one. So if we go here, go to homepage. Let's just type in spacelaunchschedule.com. Go there. Just show you. Delete. Go. Okay, so this is when you get to the website. Here, you'll just scroll down. It usually shows the one from a day before something. Oh, wait. What is this? Oh, that's, goddamn, I was excited. It was like perfect timing. Cape Canaveral. So I always look for, but you can go to wherever you watch launches. New Zealand, China. So there's not any coming up for, so Vandenberg, the next one is June 20th. Oh, wait, that is coming up. Is it a nighttime? No, see, these daytime ones suck for me. I don't see them. Oh, they have Blue Origin on here now, so there's a Blue Origin. Oh, it's fake. Blue Origin's fake. Is Katy Perry going? Nice try, guys. Nice try. There's no burn marks, and the windows are different sizes in 2 different crafts, which is, I guess that's normal. Not really sure. This is Saturday evening. Is this Cape Canaveral? Damn you. Kennedy, Cape Canaveral, Tanganishima. So it doesn't look like there's any coming up for me at Vandenberg, just that one. So the one Vandenberg scheduled is in the day, so it won't be me filming it. There we go. So I'll work with some other guys and see if they can help me figure out why we are seeing it. Because that's happened, if you notice, all 3 times that we've seen it have all been anywhere from, I don't know, what was it, 6 to 10,000 feet higher. But again, does that match in any way? Because there is an explanation for the globe. The globe says the rocket is taking off. Oh, let me show you one other thing, just so we can get an idea. Is once you've calculated that speed of what it's going, you have to remember that it's always moving that speed. Or, it's better to look at time than speed because it speeds up. But let me show you what I mean. So let's just watch it here. We're going to be watching for it to take off, and then let's kind of gauge the speed over a certain amount of time. It's 40, so it's going to be coming up here in about 3 seconds. 2, 3. Okay, so we now see it. Here it comes, see it? So watch the speed with which it's moving. Okay, you can see it moving. So this is far away, but if you kind of picture that and what time it went, then you can then calculate from there, and you'll keep going, and guess what? It'll take off from like here. This is where it took off. Otherwise, you have to believe it stayed here and just sat there. Sat there, 30 seconds later, then it starts going up. That wouldn't make any sense. Again, when were we supposed to see it? 36. I just want to go to 36 real quick. Actually, let's see exactly where it takes off. So right there, right here. Control this. Super zoom. Oh, I'm getting it wrong too. Maybe you're supposed to see it at 36, and then you have to minus the 19 seconds. That's crazy. So you're supposed to see it at 17 seconds. I mean, the flat Earth is impossible. Right? You're supposed to see it here. 17 seconds. Because 36 on the mission clock, which is the 19 plus that. And we don't see it for another long time. Certainly don't see it. So remember, I mean, on a flat Earth that we are looking, it should be, now again, if it was nothing in between us and the rocket launch, we should see it immediately. But because there's a mountain 3,000 feet high, we don't see it till 8,000 feet high, which we calculated to be 36 seconds into the mission, which was way off. Still don't see it. We should start to see it right there. There it is, see? And then it starts going. So again, let's see when we saw it right there. Okay, so I see it there. We're at 46. Let's just see how far it goes 46. Let's go to 56. One more. Okay, so, oops, that's 56. Okay. So it was here to here, and it went that far in 10 seconds. Now remember, we should then rewind 10 seconds here. 10 seconds. I mean, it should be way below the horizon. Basically, it's staying here for 25 seconds, and then it starts going. So it just doesn't make sense. It tells me that the better model that matches what we're seeing is the globe model, except for I need to figure out why we're seeing it about 10 seconds later than we should. And I will keep doing that. Let me check if anybody's got any questions for me, and then we're going to go. We're going to turn off this view or this stream, and then we'll come back and we're just going to do a few comments. I saw some. I'm like, I just got to read these because people have lost their minds. They've been triggered. They call me a bunch of names. It's kind of funny, actually, to be honest with you. Some of the things I've seen in the comment sections are just people being clueless. I saw one. Somebody says, "Oh yeah, right. You were in Antarctica for 4 days and the sun didn't set. Well, then how was it sunny in the north?" So I mean, this is they just have no clue. They have no idea what they're even talking about. Somebody else is very upset at me saying that the Earth is not flat, and they said all my evidence tells it's flat, and this. Like, okay, well, we can talk through each one of them, and they were trying to go through their evidences, and they just said, okay, well, how come I can see the sun and the moon both in the sky at the same time? I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't deal with you. I'm like, what do you mean? And they said, why can I see the sun and moon in the sky at the same time? I said, well, have you ever heard of a new moon? They're like, yes. Okay, well, that is the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time. What do you mean? So there's about 10 days a month where the sun is either the moon is approaching the sun or receding from it, that they would be in the same sky. It's not even difficult. But so I think flat earthers are hung up on a lot of incorrect information. I think that it's because people like Shane St. Pierre, Alan, all these guys, they just repeat things that are wrong. Sov, Flatzoid, clueless people. I saw somebody say that Dick Wayne in some chat earlier. He's like, "Oh, Jaron, you went to Antarctica for 4 days? Oh yeah, right. Get your math right together." Like, what are you talking about, dude? How dumb do you have to be? We got there on the 14th, December 14th, the 15th, the 16th. We left on the 17th. Let's count that, shall we? 14 is 1, 15 is 2, 16 is 3, 17 is 4. It's 4 days. So when I say I saw the sun circle for 4 days, that is a factual statement. I don't know what the problem is. Well, didn't you come home a day early? Well, it's still 4 days. Can you not count? 12, 14, 15, 16, 17. What do you want me to call that? 3 days? Or do you want me to call it 5? Because I'm pretty sure if there's 4 days involved, I should call it 4. 4 days. 4 days. Too much dumb. I agree with you, Megs. I do. Let me see if we got anything here. And then we're going to come back and read some comments and just have a good time and laugh at people because that's fun. That's fun. Oh, we got a couple of super chats. Thank you very much. Mr. Gustafsson. He gave me, $6, my favorite. $26. Appreciate that. Enrique likes that as well. Enrique, you a big fan of the $26?
The sound coming, Jefe, just like my paycheck. Late as hell.
Yeah, I don't pay you anymore. We got Bob sent one gift membership. Thank you. Eduardo. He says, remember, the rockets go up a bit, but take a curved path to optimize their orbit path. So you are right. Yeah, but I'm wondering, so what is, but the height of the craft, is it measured from the ground where it is or from the place it took off? I know that sounds weird, but like an airplane is always measuring its altitude from the ground below it, not from where, it doesn't measure its altitude from the airport it took off from. So I'm assuming the rocket would work the same way, that the rocket is calculating its height above the ground where it's at. In which case, then I don't think that's going to help me much as far as getting to 32,000 much quicker. I mean, sure, it's going to be a little bit, but not as much as I would think you would need to make it fit perfectly. But again, I'll find that out. DP Debunks, thank you very much for. By the way, finally when I decide not to do streams naked, I will wear your hoodie, and you guys got to check it out. There's a hoodie that he sent me that says, "You're not stupid, Dearth is stupid," which is a great hoodie. But I just haven't worn it yet because it's nearing summer and I live in hell, where it's 100 and hell degrees every hell day through hell day. So it's fun. Fun. But I do enjoy it because we have the pool out there again, and anytime I get to see my wife in less than optimum clothing is perfect. It's perfect. I'm very happy with that. So I don't mind the pool and keeping it nice and chlorinated, although we have a saltwater pool. So it is still chlorine, but not the same kind as chemical chlorine. It's salt turned into chlorine. Thank you to a invention of some science person. Yes. All right. So coming back, we're going to read some of these comments, just have some fun. I just want them on separate stream or separate shows. So don't go too far. I will restart this, and we're going to start with a quiz, and we'll give away something. What do I want to give away? Maybe we'll give away one of the Dearth Balls. Does somebody want to win one of the Dearth Balls? Do you want to win the original Dave Weiss Dearth Ball? That'd be pretty valueless, though, if you think about it. Although I did hear if you plant the dirt that's in there, you get a potato. So, hey, what do you do? That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stay there. You'll see the link to the other show. Maybe I'll grab it for you so you don't have to go searching. Where is that going to be? It'll be on my Telegram. Yes, Telegram it is. So again, moral of the story is when we do the mathematics and we look at it, we just say which best matches what we saw. Well, it really can't be the flat Earth. We're supposed to see it at 8,000 feet. And we didn't see it anywhere near that. We saw it around 32,000 feet. Now, granted, the globe Earth says we should see it around 22,000 feet. And I'll talk to some people, IC Spin, people like that, that know the math. Where's Wally? They know the math and the stuff a little bit better, and ask them, hey, 3 times in a row, 3 times that I pick these up, we're picking up the rocket about 8 to 10,000 feet later than we think we should. What do you think the reason for that is? I'm sure that they will tell me, but you can ask any flat earther, hey, Jaren's picking up the rocket about 24,000 feet after he should for a flat Earth. Do you have an explanation for that? And usually you're not going to hear anything from them at that point. They'll probably just run away or something. Probably hear this. What's this little... Enrique, get rid of that little beep before. You just ruined the whole thing. You ruined the whole sound effect thing. Terrible. Okay. We are going to grab this one for you. By the way, if you're not following my Telegram, which is t.me/Jeranism show, it notifies you when I go live. So you never miss a fantastic show. I was just reading what I wrote. You want to read what I wrote? Whitsitt after the debate is all I wrote him. So Whitsitt, please explain one thing. You still don't understand that you're affirming the consequent doesn't make something false. You said it 20 times to me, and it's me who doesn't get it. Okay, so then explain it. If the Earth is a sphere of radius 3959, then the distance to the horizon can be no more than 1.22 times the square root of the observer height in feet. We went and checked, and the horizon is further, so the Earth is not a sphere, quote unquote. Then I said, you say this is logically structured and correct. So please show me where I'm wrong on the following. So I then word ours in the version that he does. So I said, if the Earth is flat with a clockwise sun that goes around the continents in 24 hours, then no person on the outskirts of the map can see a sun moving backwards and circling their head for 24 hours. We went and we checked, and the sun did circle our heads for 24 hours, so the Earth is not flat. If you didn't notice, those two things are worded identically. So if flat Earth is being honest, they will point out that, okay, well, if we can do that, then the globe can do that. But they can't do that. They can't say that. So they'll just continue to say that the one that they use is correct and the one that I'm using is wrong, even though they're the same. Let's go through them one more time. If the Earth is a sphere of radius 3959, so there's your presupposition, then the distance to the horizon can be no more than this. Okay, great. We went and checked, and the distance of the horizon is further, so the Earth is not a sphere. Now, of course, what Flat Earth does there is they forgot about refraction, right? So they're just making up their own terms by saying, if the Earth is this, with this radius, then the horizon is no further than this. Even though the globe says no, refraction is moving it up. They don't say that. They just say they're mathematics. Okay, great. So we can do the same thing. If the Earth is flat with a clockwise sun that goes around the continents in 24 hours, let's stop right there. Is that the claim of Flat Earth? It has to be. They say the Earth is flat. That's step one. We know that the sun goes around the Earth in 24 hours. That's step two. They're not questions. We can't say, well, it could be 36 hours, Jaren. Well, the sun might do 18 hours around. No, it does 24. So if the Earth is flat with a clockwise sun that goes around the continents in 24 hours, then no person on the outskirts of that map can see a sun moving backwards and circling their head for 24 hours. It's the same thing as saying, that then the distance to the horizon can be no more than 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in V. Okay, great. We're on the same page now. We went and checked. And when we checked, guess what? The sun was going around our heads backwards for 24 hours, or for actually 4 days. So then the earth is not flat. Now, I'm not even claiming that that is okay, that is illegal, that is a logically sound statement. All I'm pointing out is that the one that Flat Earth has been using for years is fallacious, is wrong. And again, let's say that I said, if my wife slaps me across the face, then I called her a name, right? And then you say, well, you called her a name, so did she, she slapped you across the face. Well, if you say that it's not correctly worded or that it's affirming the consequent, it doesn't make it not true. Do you understand? We can't just take people's arguments and just say, oh, that's a fallacy. Oh, that's a fallacy. Oh, that's another fallacy. Oh, that's another fallacy. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? It doesn't make what I'm saying false. You can just say you don't want to deal with it. You can just say, I don't want to address it, so I'm just going to call everything a fallacy. Well, great. Have fun with that. That's going to get you nowhere. It's going to get you nowhere. It's not affirming the consequent. This is a modus tollens, right? Modus tollens is something different. Let me show you if we just real quick, because I don't think people understand this, and it's weird. So let's go to modus tollens on here. I just want to show you modus, M-O-D-U-S, tollens. Because and it's the one thing that, well, we're going to get into the debate eventually, but let me show you this, and it says it's valid. Let me show you. Let's go to here so you can see it. All right, so watch this. You tell me if this is a valid statement according to the Goobs. Modus tollens is a valid rule of inference and logic. It states that if a conditional statement, if P, then Q, is true, and the consequent Q is false, then the antecedent P must also be false. Watch again. Okay, so if P is true, here's our conditional statement. If the earth is flat and has a sun that goes around it in 24 hours through all the continents. Okay, so that's our conditional statement. If P, then Q is true, okay, then the consequent Q is false, and the antecedent must also be false. So again, if the earth is a flat and it goes around in 24 hours, then at no time, here comes Q, can you have a sun going backwards around somebody's head in the south for 24 hours? There you go. So then the antecedent P must also be false. We went and checked, and we did see a sun doing that, going around our heads backwards in 24 hours. So therefore, then the beginning is also false. So the earth cannot be flat. Okay. Now the difference is I didn't use any, I didn't leave out refraction there, right? There's no refraction involved in the sun going around the flat earth for 24 hours. So while I can claim that they left out the globe explanation, they cannot do the same to mine. So mine actually is superior. Mine is superior. Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. Who the hell is messaging me so many times from Facebook? Hold on a second. 20 messages. What? I don't know why this person's messaged me 20 times. That's uncalled for. All right. Modus tollens, valid rule of inference and logic. It states that if a conditional statement, if P then Q, is true, and the consequent Q is false, it shouldn't say if P then Q is true. It's just getting confusing. It should say if P is Q is true, because it's saying if P then Q is true. Well, what do you mean if P then Q is true? You say the if statement for if the Earth is a sphere of 3959, then you say Q. But it's saying if P is true and the consequent Q is false, then the antecedent P must also be false, right? So again, that means that now here's my point. Modus tollens, if they're going to claim this, if they claim that that's what they're using, then I just use modus tollens to disprove flat Earth. Do you understand? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Now they want to call everything affirming the consequent. Affirming the consequent is different. I get that. If I said if the Earth is a sphere, then there'll be a backwards moving sun in the south. There's a backwards moving the sun in the south, so therefore the Earth's a sphere. I could see that being logically incorrect. However, it doesn't mean it's false, right? So when somebody uses that in a debate to just end the conversation or basically say they're not going to listen to that, well, you can think to yourself, well, he's got a good point there. That is a fallacious argument. But you could also look at it and say, well, this person wants to avoid the truth because they are just going straight to calling it a fallacy, but not worrying about the contents of it. Whereas the contents could be correct, right? for instance, that is, you know, how I think it works as far as the affirming the consequent. All right. So again, I asked him, he hasn't got back to me on that, but that's my question. Because I heard in the after show he was saying, oh, I've told Jaron 20 times about it being affirming the consequent. But everything that they do on the flat earth is affirming the consequent. They're like, we don't see water bend, therefore the earth's flat. But what? If the earth is a sphere, then it must have bendy water. It doesn't have bendy water, therefore the earth's not a sphere. See what I'm saying? Is that they do that all day. That's what they do. So for them to go around calling fallacies on other people, saying that those aren't logically sound, however, everything that they use is identical to that, but they just get to use it. So if you haven't noticed the flat earth way of operation, it's if anything goes against their model, then they don't use that. We don't look at lights in the sky to determine the shape of the ground. But wait, the celestial theodolite does? We do look at the lights in the sky to get the ground because this one matches the flat earth. But we don't do it when we don't look at the sun because that matches the globe. So we don't actually look at this things in the sky and make a determination about the ground. Oh, you don't. But what about the celestial theodolite? Oh, that we do. Yeah, that we do. And then they don't invoke refraction. Why did Austin say they don't? Because it's already blocked. What the hell sense does that make? What do you mean? We don't take refraction into account because it's already blocked. Well, yeah, but is it blocked? Where's the actual height of it? Don't you have to know the refraction? So again, this is where it for those who have ears and those paying attention, it's becoming quite obvious, quite easy to figure out. That's why I'm kind of done with the whole debunking arena, because it's what you're doing is you're just talking to children. You're just talking to children. I was one of those children. I'm certainly not saying I'm better than them. When I saw the evidence that told me I was wrong, for sure, I said I was wrong for sure. Now, there's evidence out there for everybody else to see that they can figure out on their own, but they just choose not to because, again, I don't know why they are just very married to it. I could not imagine you're teaching lies to children, or you're teaching lies to parents who are teaching them to children. You are setting them up for being a laughingstock. I still have not been called for even an interview from any job that I've applied to. Why? Because they're searching my name on the internet. So that's what Flat Earth will do to you. So if you want that to be the goal of your children, if you want yourself to have an impossible job in the future because you think you're right about the shape of the earth, I'm here to tell you you're not. And I wish I could make it any clearer to you that the new flat earth thing is, well, if Jaron didn't have a justified belief in his flat earth the first time around, why would we believe him now? Well, that's on you. You get to choose who you believe and who you don't. For me, if I saw somebody who was in the flat earth for 10 years and then they got out, I would be watching that person almost religiously to say, wait, how could you be a flat earther for 10 years and then flip back to the globe? Let's go watch and find out. Is that what the flat earthers did? No. They said, how could you be a flat earther for 10? He's compromised, delete him, block him. Don't watch him. So these people are not after the truth. They're just not. They think they already know the truth, which is why we became flat earthers, because we're like, look at all those globe believers. They think they already know the truth. They're not even willing to talk about it. And now they've become worse than them. Now they're willing to do anything. They just lie. Dave Weiss is promising people Bitcoins, and then he's, oh, and why don't you go down to Antarctica and film the 24-hour sun and prove the Earth's a globe? So there's the proof of the Earth's a globe. Go down. Okay. Then he's telling people, I have 3 Bitcoins for anybody who can prove 1 proof of the globe. So we went down, we filmed the 24-hour sun. Guess what? That's a proof of the globe according to Dave Weiss. And yet he's still going around telling people he's got 3 Bitcoins for them. It's all a scam. It's actually illegal. You know, no company can imagine a company did that, like download our app and you get a chance at $2,000. But the actual truth was nobody had a chance at the $2,000. Do you realize that's a scam? It's against the law. Right. So when Dave Weiss says you have a chance at winning 3 Bitcoins with no intention of ever giving out 3 Bitcoins, it's called a scam. It's called a lie. It's called a grift. It's called a potato. See you guys shortly. Don't go anywhere. It's been fun. And did I tell you I love you? I think so. I remind you, do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe that you can't tell the shape of the ground by looking at the lights in the sky. You can. Dave Weiss, you are a dirtball. See you guys shortly. Till then. Peace.
On the shot clock, hold on, don't start. Snack stash deep, hit the fridge, hit the cart. Popcorn popping, microwave sound singing. Phone buzz loud, group.
Oh wait, sorry, I see more super chats I missed. Stop talking. Sorry, I didn't see these. Let's look at them real quick. We've got Eduardo Ferrero says, sent you a link where they explain more. Telegram. Thank you. Okay, about the launches, you mean? Thank you. If you drop the radius part of the initial statement in your conclusion, then your argument is equivocal. Wait, hold on. If you drop the radius part of the initial statement in your conclusion, what are you talking about? If the Earth is a sphere with the radius 3959, you said if you drop the radius part of the initial statement. So if the Earth is a sphere, in your conclusion, then your argument is equivocal. That's the one fallacy that Whitsitt didn't. I don't even know what that means. Why would you drop the radius part? That they're saying if the Earth is a sphere with this radius, because the radius is involved in the mathematics for the distance to the horizon. So why would you drop it? What do you mean by that? That then you're, well, if the Earth is a sphere of what size? So the whole condition is wrong then. If you take out the 3959, then what are you talking about? A basketball? The basketball would have a horizon much higher than 30. So again, that's why you need that in there. I don't know what you mean by that. If you drop the radius part of the initial statement in your conclusion, what do you mean in your conclusion? Oh, then the Earth is not a sphere of 3959. Is that what you mean? Maybe he means that. So if the Earth is a sphere of 3959, then the distance to the horizon can be no more than 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. We went and checked, and the horizon is further than that. Therefore, the Earth is not a sphere of 3959. Is that what you mean? Maybe that's what we meant. We got, I can't read that, 3, Ron? Every time a flurf is said affirming the consequence, they have used it incorrectly. Yeah, and again, the modus tollens is that, but it's just a version of that they allow. Again, I'm not a fan of all these, that's a fallacy, that's a fallacy. I'm just an adult. I'm an adult male. So I can just talk and just have a conversation. And really, it should be easy. It's about which model better matches reality. So when I thought the South was a lie, think about it. Does the Earth look flat? Yeah. Do we pretty much treat it like it's flat? Yeah. For all intents and purposes, is it flat? Yeah. And is the South a lie? If the answer is yes, then you can see where the flat Earth might be a better model of reality. Now, once you go down to the South and you see that it's an inverse of the North, well, is that what we were taught the South was? Yes. Okay. Did they teach us the Earth was a sphere? Yes. Do we map the Earth on a sphere? Yes. Does all observations match a sphere? Yes. Okay. So clearly, one of those options, flat or sphere, is the superior. And the flat Earth can't predict anything. Doesn't predict what the sun does, so they have to have a parent sun. They don't know suns. They can't predict anything. Sunrise, sunset times, angles, why there's a south celestial pole, why is there a south pole. So it's not a question anymore. It's just a matter of how long will it take people to settle with the fact that they were wrong. I had no choice, and I thought that other people who had audiences would be the same. Where it's like, man, I cannot come back and tell one lie to my audience. I can't pretend that I'm, believe the Earth is flat anymore. So I came back and told people I'm not a flat earther anymore. Now everybody else that tells you that they are, maybe they just don't have, balls the size I do. So, which is probably true. They probably can put theirs in the toilet bowl. Some of us can't, believe it or not. So life's rough. What are you going to do? All right. See you guys soon. I'll be back in